Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Valerie. I am the owner and founder of The Wonder in Travel, and this is my YouTube channel. This is where I share all of my itineraries, my vlogs, my tips, anything travel and travel talk. This is where it's gonna be, and I'm so glad that you're here. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Let's hang out. Today I thought we could talk about my favorite cruise line, which is Virgin Voyages, and all the things that I feel like you should know before you sail. And like I mentioned, I am still very new to this, so I still don't know where to look at. Please bear with me, but I'm so happy you're here, and if you guys would like to know more about Virgin Voyages and some of my tips, just keep watching. So I know there's a lot of videos of people talking about their tips and tricks on Virgin Voyages, and you should absolutely watch them. I have been on, I think 4 or 5 voyages. I think 4, and I'm going on my 5th in a couple months, and I'm so freaking excited. If you guys are not familiar with Virgin Voyages, it's an adult-only cruise line, 18 and over only, and I absolutely love that. So as a travel advisor that focuses on adult-only luxury, Virgin Voyages fits right in that criteria. And I'm so freaking excited to talk to you guys about Virgin because it's one of those cruise lines that I feel like just don't fail. Before getting into the actual tips, let me give you some more information on Virgin and their fleet. They have 4 vessels. They have the Brilliant Lady, the Scarlet Lady, the Resilient Lady, and Valiant Lady. Valiant Lady is the one that I've been to the most. I think it's the only one that I've been to. Every single voyage that we've been to is on Valiant. Before, you could say that all of them are sisters, and they still are. They're very, very similar. I almost said the same, but they have been doing some refurbishing, and some of them are becoming a little bit different than the other. So for example, Brilliant Lady is the newest. However, because that one is designed to go through the Panama Canal, that one is going to be a little slimmer when it comes to the actual shape, and that means that you're gonna have smaller balconies with that vessel. So they're gonna have cabin types in Brilliant Lady than Scarlet, Valiant, and Resilient will have, because it is meant to go through the Panama Canal. However, with that said, some of these balconies have double hammocks as like a compromise for those smaller balconies. Also, they're starting to take out some of the restaurants and flip them over. For example, if you've been on Virgin before, Vassal Dazzle is kind of being phased out. Vassal Dazzle is being turned into a little bit of a different restaurant in each vessel. Scarlet Lady is gonna have Lotus, which is gonna be an Asian inspired restaurant. Valiant Lady is gonna have the Indian restaurant now. It is actually currently on dry dock having this remodeling, so I'm really, really excited. And then Brilliant Lady is gonna have a Spanish cuisine restaurant. I want to go on Brilliant so bad just because of that restaurant. I love Spanish cuisine. Other than that, they will keep the other eateries. If you guys are not familiar, you have the Wake, which is your steakhouse. You have Extra Virgin, which is your Italian, and I absolutely love Extra Virgin. One of my, if not my favorite restaurant on board. They have Pink Agave, which is your Mexican restaurant, probably my second favorite restaurant. And then they also have Gunbay, which is the Korean barbecue. This is the restaurant I go to every single embarkation day because it's just so fun to sit with other people and just get the party started. I love Gunbay. And we cannot forget about the galley. The galley is their version of a buffet. They're not gonna have that traditional cruise buffet. They're gonna have made to order. I don't want to say food court because that kind of doesn't elevate it, but it is a little food mart, and it's really, really yummy. I prefer the breakfast here over any of the specialty restaurants like the Wake and Razzle Dazzle. I love the galley lunch and I love the galley breakfast. They also have a pizza place, and this is where everybody goes at 2 a.m. to get their pizza fix, and they're all made to order as well, so very, very good. They also have some grab and go stations for food like charcuterie, salads, sandwiches if you're just on the go. They also have the dock, which is more of a lounge area, but they do serve little Mediterranean bites, tapas, and then they also have some cocktails. I forgot the name of the specific cocktail, but I freaking love this cocktail so much. And this is my little tip. I would go to the dock on embarkation day instead of the galley because the galley gets really, really packed. The dock is really chill and you can still get a bite. So go to the pizza place, get your pizza to go to the dock, get your little tapas, and lay out while everybody else figures out how to deal with the galley because it does get a little crowded up there. Also, when it comes to Virgin Voyages, everything is handled through their app. So as soon as you board, everything will be on this app. As soon as you do embark, if you haven't done so already, please book your dining reservations if there are any available. These specialty restaurants, you do have to reserve a spot. Virgin Voyages Voyages has separated their levels of cabins to basic, essential, and premium. Basic being below of what you're used to if you have been with Virgin before. Essential being that regular base that we know and love that Virgin Voyages came out with originally. And then we have premium. To me, the biggest thing here is going to be the Wi-Fi, and it's going to be how many days before your voyage you're able to book your restaurants. I'm not even gonna go through basic because I just feel like that's not even worth it. Either do essential or do premium. Essential, you have 45 days, which like I said, is that typical Virgin Voyages unless you're on a Rockstar suite. And then you have premium, you're gonna have those 60 days before voyage that you're able to book your restaurants. If by any chance you miss those deadlines, they do sometimes have some spots available as soon as you get inside the boat. However, go straight to Sailor Services, see if they can help you out. If not, you can also get on a waiting list every single night. However, it is not a guarantee you're going to be dining in that restaurant. And again, this is just for those specialty restaurants, not for the galley. The galley does not need a reservation, or the pizza place. So just those specialty restaurants for sure. Also, if you are going to be drinking, I do recommend getting a bar tab before you get into the cruise. So if you pre-purchase your bar tab, you do get extra bar tab money, and this is what you're going to use to buy your drinks. Virgin doesn't have your typical drink package. They have this thing called a bar tab, which I feel like it's great because it's more flexible. Like me and my partner doesn't drink. So if we would have had to get a drink package, you have to do it per cabin. So we would have to pay for both of us. He does not drink, so I can just do a bar tab for myself and pay for my own drinks without having to worry about paying double, simply because we're staying in the same cabin. Also, with that said, if you wanted to buy someone else a drink, let's say you meet someone or whatever, you can pay for their drink and vice versa by using your bar tab. However, your bar tab is strictly for drinks. It is not to be confused with Sailor Loot. Sailor Loot is what you consider your ship money. This is what you can use for your tattoos, your piercings. Yes, they do have a tattoo parlor. And you can also use it for merchandise. You can also use it for shore things. So now for the shore things, you have to book that on board. If you want to use your Sailor Loot, you cannot pre-book your shore things with Sailor Loot. Also, Virgin Voyages is completely plastic free, so they do not have any straws or anything like that, or water bottles. So if you do want to have your own water bottle, I highly recommend, and if you're a straw person, bring your own straw because they are trying to be as sustainable as possible. Now, Virgin Voyages is known for 3 specific theme nights. Now, they do add and kind of move them around, but one of them, which we'll get to, does stay in all voyages. You're gonna have your PJs night, which is gonna be usually on embarkation day at night. You can wear your PJs, and it's usually held in the athletic club, I believe, on the back of the ship. However, I believe on Brilliant Lady, due to the Alaska sailings, those are gonna move inside because of the climate. Obviously, it's a little bit colder, so just keep that in mind and keep an eye on your app to see where exactly they are. But PJs night is one of them, so make sure you pack your nice PJs. And then they also have the We Fancy night, which is usually glitz and glamour and gold. This one kind of moves around. Some voyages don't have it, and then some voyages have different ones, but every single voyage that we have been to, we have seen this We Fancy. So pick your really pretty dress and show off. And then of course, everybody knows Scarlet Night. Scarlet Night is when the ship goes red, and then they do this whole event where everybody wears red, and it is just a party on board. It is so much freaking fun. So make sure you wear your red and you bring your red outfit, and make sure you have a little coffee, a little energy drink, or a little cocktail, because it is just a lot of fun and you need all the energy for it. It is so much fun. It is usually held at the pool deck. However, like I said, on Brilliant Lady, due to the climate on Alaska Voyages, I think they're being converted into the Manor, which is the club of the boat. So just again, keep an eye on your voyage on your app and make sure to see where it's actually held. Talking about outfits, Virgin Voyages is fantastic because they don't have a dress code. You can go however you like to any of the restaurants without worrying what to wear. Some cruise lines, they do have this dress code, so if you go to like a fancy restaurant, you have to wear a fancy shirt or whatever. Virgin Voyages is not like that. They have a come as you are policy, which means you can wear whatever you are just as long as you're decent, okay? And it's adults only, so their definition of decent, it's a little risque if you ask me. Now, going back to embarkation day, if you guys are wanting to do a show that needs to be booked, I highly recommend booking anything anything that needs to be booked when you get on board. Because some of these things like the bar crawl, where you do an actual bar crawl across the ship, that one tends to be booked really, really quick. Some shows, Bingo with the Diva, these are all shows that tend to be booked up. Not all shows need to be pre-booked, but these events that do need booking, they usually do book up kind of quick. So as soon as you get your embarkation, if you haven't done so already, do your dinner reservations and then go on your app, go look through the events that you're gonna have on your voyage, see what you want to do, and if anything that you do want to do needs a booking, I would go ahead and book that. And then a little hidden trick on the app, if you shake your phone when the app is open and you're on board, you will get a shake for champagne button where you can literally get champagne delivered anywhere on board. This is just a cute little trick. Let's say you're hanging out at the dock and you're like, hey, a bottle of champagne of Moet would be really, really nice. You can shake for champagne and they'll bring it right to you with an ice bucket, and it's so nice, so fancy, so luxurious. Just a really, really good time. And also, as an option, you can always drop off your bags at the port. Every port is different, but the Barcelona one and the Miami one, we were able to drop off our bags around 9:30 and just leave them there and then come back for our embarkation time, which makes our embarkation process a lot smoother. Also, every single cabin, you're able to bring 2 bottles of wine, regular size wine or champagne. This is just a really, really nice way to save some money. If you want to bring your own alcohol, just make sure it is on your carry-on luggage and not in your check luggage. If not, it's going to get confiscated. The bag that you're bringing on with you on hand to the boat, you can put your wine bottles or champagne bottles in there. And like I said, it is 2 per cabin. Also, keep in mind, if you do want to take these to the specialty restaurants for them to open it, there will be a fee. Just keep that in mind. I just take these wines to kind of just have it with me in my cabin. I brought a bottle of champagne, and what I did was bring it to the pool and ask for an ice bucket and some glasses, and I had a great time. And then last but not least, the day beds around the pool, they get so crowded. If you want to get a day bed, make sure you get there early. However, there is no holding for long periods. If you're gonna put your towel down and leave, they are monitoring for 30 minutes and then they take away your stuff and leave it for the next person. So if you wanted to get a day bed, it is a commitment that you're gonna have to take, or you can just do one of the lounging chairs. There's a lounging everywhere on the ship, so you will not be without a seat. However, if you want specifically those day beds, get there early. However, you only have 30 minutes if you do want to go and leave the day bed and grab something. Just keep that in mind, that they won't hold it for a very long time, and then sometimes it's even less, which is a good thing for those people that usually they want to put their towels down and then leave for like 3 hours, and then what about the rest of us? Yeah, Virgin is really good at making sure that people are not taking advantage of the sitting, specifically the day beds. So yeah, I hope you guys learn some things for your voyage. I am so excited if you have a Virgin Voyages cruise. We literally have one booked for August for my birthday, and I'm so freaking excited. So I am right there with you. And if you guys haven't already, subscribe. Let's keep hanging out and talking all things travel. I'm gonna be posting every Monday. And if you guys want your Virgin Voyages cruise or any of your other trips booked, the link is always in my bio. And specifically for Virgin Voyages cruises, I do have a link where you can directly book your cruise. No need to contact me, but I can still be your first mate and handle all the nitty-gritty stuff for you. So also check that down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.